So, hey, I'm itchy, kind of, swollen. But yeah, I wanted to make a video because I wanted to talk about something that just happened recently. Basically, what it is a couple of days ago, there's a guy by the name of... In fact, let me get the information up completely so that I don't get any of this wrong. I don't want to give you misinformation. But basically, as you all know, in 2012 there was a really big shooting in Connecticut. I think it was in Connecticut. I think so. Yeah, in Connecticut, in Newtown, Connecticut, Sandy Hook Elementary School, and it was a terrible, terrible incident. 26 first graders died. I know, was it 26? I think it was, no. Maybe it was 20 first graders and 6 teachers. I can't remember exactly the numbers, but a lot of people, a lot of innocent children died, and it was a terrible, terrible thing. Shouldn't have happened. And since then, it's none of my business. First of all, it's not my business what the American government do with their policies and things like that. But as far as I'm aware, nothing kind of positive has come out of this. Like we've had Barack Obama. Well, I say we. Barack Obama has talked that something needs to be done. Nothing's been done yet, for a bunch of reasons, but the fact is that nothing's happened yet, and we're still in the same place. I keep saying we, not from America, but there's still nothing been done to deal with it. And a few days ago, now that we're leading up to the 1-year anniversary of Sandy Hook, a guy called Ryan Lambourn has created a game. He's created a game called The Slaying of Sandy Hook. The Slaying of Sandy Hook. So this is what the game's called. He actually had previously made a game called VTech Rampage based on another shooting. Just based it on shooting, you know. It's just generally what you do. But before I say anything else, I want you to please just Google it. I believe it's a Flash game, and it's on GameJolt.com. Yeah, it's perfectly playable on GameJolt.com, and please go and try and play it as much as you feel comfortable playing. I'm not going to say you should play through all of it because the images are kind of disturbing, and you just might not enjoy it. The thing is, though, it's not meant to be enjoyed. That's the point. But if you find yourself unable to play it, then that's fair enough. But please try and play it. I'll link it in the description below, and I'll put in fact, no, I won't put an annotation because I'm shit at doing annotations. But basically, it's been caused quite a lot of controversy. And it's terrible. Basically, it's terrible that it's caused this controversy because it's a really, really great game for what it's trying to do. It's fantastic at sending a message to someone in one of the most natural ways possible, making a game out of it, and making these arguments through this game. So this, now that you've played it, I assume you've gone and you've played it already. If you haven't, please pause the video and go and play it. People have spoken out against the creator, and there's a teacher called no, actually it was the family of one of the teachers who died, said the constant barrage of negative backlash we face as a family is unimaginable. We constantly have to battle people who still to this day think Sandy Hook is a hoax. For those people, I can only say, I hope you never have to go through what we do as a family. On top of all that, we are trying to summon up the courage and composure to face the 1-year anniversary. We learned about a video game that was made called. We do not encourage this game, nor do we condone it. We only bring attention to it so that we can perhaps reach the maker and make him understand why his message was delivered in the most inappropriate way. We cannot understand why anyone would think what happened at Sandy Hook is something that can or should be made into a game. This is real life to us, every day. The issue is that it's not a game. It's not a game in the biggest sense possible. It's interactive, but it's not a game. It's not a game that's meant to be enjoyed. It's not a game that's meant to be entertaining. It's a game that's meant to send a message, and it's to send a message in the way that only a game can. You sit down and you start off with what happened historically, and you start off and you're like, okay, right, get the Glock, shoot the mother, and you go through and you keep going, and you find that, oh, I've got this gun and I've got to kill as many children and teachers as possible. It's like, okay, I'm doing it. Right, I got a good score. And then you finish, and you commit suicide, and it's fine. It's all good. Let's do the second thing. So gun control. What if gun control existed? Ah, well, you wouldn't have access to a gun, and his mum's gun's been a gun safe. So let's pretend that you ordered a katana off the internet. And if you play the game, it's a lot harder to kill these children and these teachers now. Man, it's quite harder. Like I have to be like, I can't do as much. Like before, I could just shoot, and like the bullets would go to miles. Now I have to be right up next to the guys, to the children, and the teachers to kill them. It's like, it's a lot harder. Man, this game's hard now. And then you do the guns in schools option. Oh yeah, of course. And then you try and commit suicide when the cops come, but unfortunately your stomach gets pumped and you get a court case. Unlucky. And then of course you try the guns in schools option where teachers have guns. Of course they can't kill them, so instead they just fire warning shots. Big deal. You fired a warning shot. These people are still going to kill you. It's not threatening. So I'm gonna shoot off. I'm gonna shoot. Just shooting. And no different to the historical thing. This is a message. It's not meant to be taken lightly. Just because it appears to be a game does not mean that it is a game. It's an interactive message. It's a fantastic message, because it gets across its point in such a way that you conclude for yourself the point. You see for yourself how much easier it is with guns than it is with gun control. You see how much easier it is for that to happen. And you see how much easier it is for the you see how much easier it is for with gun control, that we can control the casualties that could have happened. You can see how Sandy Hook could have been made less severe. You know, if gun control was in effect, there could be 10 more children who were absolutely couldn't wait for Christmas this year. I know it's not a nice thing to say, but that's the honest truth. That's the sort of thing that we fight for here. So to make a big deal over a game when it's trying to make a message regarding what can be done to stop this kind of thing from happening again, to stop the casualty that happened to her family happen to someone else. So I just want to raise awareness for this. Really, I want people to go play the game. I want people to raise awareness for it and just let them know that it's not a game. It's an interactive message. It's not meant to be taken lightly. It's not meant to be taken as a joke or to be entertaining. It's there as a serious message. I'm just gonna finally go to a Reddit thread that also mentioned it, and a guy puts it perfectly. Let me find it. He says he's using comments that have been made, and he says, "I just don't understand." Someone's been quoted saying, "I just don't understand, frankly, why anyone would think that the horrible tragedy that took place here in Sandy Hook would have any entertainment value." And then he goes on, "This statement shows that this individual did not play through the game. The game has no entertainment value. It was not meant to entertain, but to make a statement on gun control in America." The developer is trying to send a very obvious message. He is trying to say that stricter gun control may have prevented this incident or made it much less severe. Don't get me wrong, the subject matter he used was very, very strong, and the tragedy is very recent, and many wounds are still fresh. I do not have the audacity to say that this product is not shocking, and I agree with that, it is shocking. However, I do recognise that the developer intended for it to be this way. It's supposed to be shocking. It's supposed to be impactful. Look at the slaughter that was capable with the guns compared to the slaughter that was capable with only a katana. And he probably wouldn't have been able to get hold of a katana. I believe that it is much more important for us to try and understand the difference between what we take from something and what the artist intended. I use the term artist because video games are an interactive form of art, and my statement here is applicable to other art forms as well. Many of us see this as a shocking, disgusting, horribly offensive waste of time, but what were we meant to see? We were meant to see an individual stance on gun control. We were supposed to understand that this individual believes that to prevent or lessen tragedies like this in the future, we as a nation should begin having a conversation about gun control. Do we have to agree with the artist? No, absolutely not. In fact, we are allowed to be offended and to be angry. However, we have a tendency to let that anger get in the way of our ability to comprehend a message that is very clearly placed in front of us. If we can put aside our anger and our offence, we may be able to understand someone who has a different idea than us, and ultimately that can help us as a society move forward. The only problem is that first we must get past the shocking subject matter to truly understand the message. Please know I am not defending this developer, nor am I trying to make a statement about gun control. While I do not believe that it was too soon, I personally think that there is a line in the sand that must be drawn on what is and is not available for artists to use to make their political statements, and I think this crosses it. However, I am trying to say that it is important for us to remember that we are a community based around an art form that opens us up to material such as this. I played the game and I received the message. It was an absolutely terrifying experience. I was not offended by the content, but I did feel incredibly guilty by the end of it. It's fantastic what he wrote. This is by Jacob Eats on r/gaming for gamers. I'm probably gonna link the comment in the description as well, because it's really well. He puts a too long didn't read. I'm like, wow, my hair just went really bad. Sorry, I've been at work. He posted too long didn't read, and he said, "We as a society need to become more open to what an individual is trying to say, rather than react to the subject matter that expresses that message. We don't have to like it, but understanding it may help us open our minds to change, often for the better." And I disagree with what he said about crossing the lines. I think that if you're trying to get across a point, short of breaking the law, you shouldn't be limited to how you get across that point, be it in the most shocking way possible. It's something that it's the only way to get the true message out, I think, a lot of the time, because at the end of the day, we're dealing with a very delicate matter full of really very recent wounds, and the only way to get across to people the seriousness of kind of what his reasoning is by opening those wounds and saying, this is what's capable if things have stayed the same way. There's nothing to stop this happening again. But by opening those wounds, by making you feel guilty, by opening you to the shocking content, and then saying, but what if? It's a fantastic, it's a fantastic piece of kind of political, it's a fantastic political statement. That's what I'm going to say. But yeah, that's all I've got to say. I encourage you to go play it, please. Just talk about it. Talk about it, basically. So yeah, that was Hazza. I don't know what else to say. Cheers, guys. Thanks for watching.